ChowDownChou or random gaming, depending on
Are
what you're
you
watching.
buying into the origin stories that people have been telling about the coronavirus, about how it's like a bioweapon created in some Chinese lab? You think there's any validity to that?
I am. I'm definitely not buying into it. It's just a story um, made up not just by the Trump administration, but more so just racist. That they just want to blame it on somebody. That's human
Yeah,
nature. When shit hits the
exactly.
fan, they're gonna have to point fingers at someone. And who's yes, it did originate in Wuhan, China.
Yeah,
We don't know how it started, but saying that it's a bioweapon is really really pushing it.
exactly. Like
Um,
I can even accept the fact that it's lab made. It could be some sort of an experiment. But I think saying that it's targeted towards America, trying to topple the American economy is, pretty egocentric, to be honest. Anyway,
it is.
but
It is.
yeah,
But I think there's a trend. SARS actually also originated somewhere in Southeast China,
for sure.
and
Yeah.
that's the. I'm still buying into the whole argument of it mutating from bats to swine,
Hmm. Yeah. So the wet
and
market and how it should all be banned.
exactly.
Yep.
There was actually this informational video from Vice News on
Yeah.
YouTube that kind of shows how this kind of started, like in a wet market, and how it could jump because the sanitary and hygiene, sanitation and hygiene at these
Yeah.
wet markets are down to zero. Um,
Yeah.
so the
For sure.
likelihood of it happening is a lot uh, is more true than it being made in a lab.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
Like
again, I'm
I
not a
can.
medical
Yeah.
expert or anything,
For
but
sure. Yeah. Like I can even agree with controlling the wet markets, definitely upping the hygiene level. Um, it's some people's culture to eat certain types of cuisines. It's not my place to say they just should abandon it altogether. It's probably not my personal choice of eating, but I feel like there could be more control in place. So yeah, maybe China could do a better
yeah,
job on that. But
no.
speaking of it originating from China, I'm just wondering how is the viewpoint of Americans on Chinese people now? Because I know there's got to be some sort of a gap there of certain Americans thinking that this is some sort of Chinese plot or the Chinese people brought it. And you're never at a loss for weird people on BART yelling stuff at you. So how has it been? Like, what do you feel like is the attitude towards, Chinese immigrants or just Chinese people living in America at this moment?
Honestly, it's not just a Chinese thing. It's an Asian American,
For
any
sure.
Asian in the world, kind
Yeah.
of thing. As long as you're Asian, as long as you look Asian,
Yeah.
you are going to be a subject of racism. And if you follow Next Shark, they're also really good at reporting this kind of stuff. Cyberbullying wise, actual assaults, physical assaults. It's just, it the pandemic gave it a new excuse.
Justification, I guess.
I'd say an excuse. I wouldn't say
Okay.
it's not justified. It's
Hmm.
just an excuse to actually show their racism.
Yeah, an excuse would be a better word. My
Yeah.
bad. English is
So
not my first language, so
no
gotta
worries.
clear
No,
that
no.
up.
I'm just saying justification seems like it's justified.
Yeah, it's not.
Whereas racism is definitely just their excuse. Like it's affecting everyone. Like even in San Francisco, one of the most liberal places in the world.
Yep.
Sorry, in the country. I should say in the country.
Yeah.
People have said that multiple times. I am very lucky and fortunate that I have not experienced anything during this pandemic.
Yeah.
But myself, I have experienced racism in San Francisco a few years ago.
Yeah.
Um,
You're breaking up a little bit.
when I was
1
driving,
second. Yeah.
like it doesn't make sense. This most likely straight white male, definitely was a white male. Don't know if he's straight or not, but
Okay. Yeah.
racist,
I understand.
just racist.
Yeah. But how do you think that like how long do you think this would linger? Like I'm sure the pandemic hasn't ended yet, and like how long do you think the shelter at home orders would continue towards, and when do you realistically see this being over, I guess?
Realistically, when the vaccine is available to give to everyone, though, just not just when the vaccine is made or it's done, it has to be readily available, kind of like testing. It has to be readily available. Vaccine is, from what I've been reading, the testing phase with human trials. The most prominent one from Gilead, actually based in the Bay Area, Redwood City, I believe. Their drug remdesivir is in trials, but we don't know. In the meantime, it's pretty good, but we don't know. And most likely, things will probably not be normal until next year, maybe even end of next year. Hell, maybe even 2022.
I know, it's going to be a while. Like, I can already imagine me being back on the BART and being yelled at by some crazy dude about how the Chinese people are bringing the virus in and whatever. Like, I can already see that happening. So I'm sure that's a real concern if and when things open back up.